Thanks. Hi, family. I'm Tony, recovered food addict. I weigh and measure 3 meals a day off the gray sheet. Write it in my phone. Call my sponsor at 9:40 p.m. or text them. And don't eat no matter what. And eat no matter what. Meaning, since I came to gray sheet, I'm never hungry. 60 years old. I'm sober since March 1st, 1988. And I haven't had to eat like a dummy since February 11th, 2018. A little bit about me. I'm Italian, I'm Irish. We like to eat everything. My drug of choice is more. More of what everybody on this forum has and more of everything. If you love me, you fed me. It's pretty simple. Where I grew up in Babylon Village in New York, in the US of A, 9 houses, we were all related. So good Italian, Irish families, you love me, you fed me. You got a little of this, a little of that. Go to grandma's house, go to grandpa's house, go to Uncle Gus's house, go to Grandma Coletti's house, go everywhere. Everybody always fed. Oh, hey. I used to get sugary, yummy circle things for Christmas. And yeah, it was great. And then when the lights came on, my mom would scream, dinner time. And we went home. As long as we ate everything on our plate, we got dessert. What a concept. Growing up, I never fit in. I never felt a part of. I got picked on a lot in school. And we said, if I ever get married, which I haven't yet, I'll never have kids because kids are so mean and they just picked on me to no end. And it was awful. I had a terrible upbringing. Today, I don't know if it's from sobriety or food or whatever, but I'm very outgoing. I can talk to anybody. I can talk the bark off a tree. I love being the center of attention. In the past, as a kid, I didn't like that at all, but, I remember when I had to do like an oral exam, I tell the teacher, just give me an F. There's no way that I could talk in front of people. And I don't know, when you get sober, after 90 days, you got to speak, and in gray sheet, after 90 days, you got to work 30 days. I don't even know how long you got to be to speak. But, I know this is video only, but I don't know if everybody knows me. So this is what I used to look like. On the left, I'm 400 pounds, riding a skinny tire bicycle. And on the right, I'm 180 pounds, riding a fat tire bicycle. Pretty funny, actually. I get so emotional when I think about it. I never really thought that I would have abstinence like I have today. I heard my friend in Paris speak this morning, and she was like shot out of a cannon. It was awesome. We never met. We talked a few times, and this program is the last mansion on the block. They say it's the last house on the block. Well, it's not a house, it's a mansion. I paint houses for a living, and I paint mansions for a living. And this place has everything that I've been searching for in the 60 years on this planet. Could I have done this when I was 20, 30, 40, 50? Probably not. Just for me, this is my story. I know you're recording this. I got another visual for you. Got these pair of pants that I used to wear. One of them, they're like, ooh, yeah, like twice the size of what I used to be. And there's a song by Stone Temple Pilots, I'm half the man I used to be. Every time I hear that, come on, I almost start crying, because left to my own devices, I got very big. I had sleep apnea, I had diabetes, I can't see my feet, much less anything else below my belly. I sat on chairs and broken them. My nieces are in plays for like forever. And every time I'd go to see him, I'd have to fit in this friggin' seat like this big. And I'm like, my ass is this big. I'm not, and it was so uncomfortable. And some of the plays for like 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, oh, this is awful. And I remember my niece drew a picture of me when I was a kid. It was me and her, and we were like 2 normal-sized people. And I said, Jenna, who is this? She goes, you, Uncle Tony. I said, She saw me as a normal-sized person. She didn't see me as the fat bastard that I was. I could say that because that's how I felt. And I never in a million years thought I could do this. 20 plus years ago, I went to OA because I had to lose a little weight. I didn't eat sugar for 7 months. I lost 100 pounds. I'd walk past the mirror and I'd be like, who's that guy? I couldn't handle it. So like any good addict, I gained, 5 or 6 pounds for the next 2 years. And I lost 100 and found 150 and kept that on for probably 20 years. It wasn't until I think February 26, 2014, I had a massive pulmonary embolism in my driveway. I pissed my pants and passed out and woke up, got to the hospital, and they're like, what's going on? I said, I don't know. I was shoveling my driveway. I pissed my pants. I passed out. They're like, did it snow? I said, no. They're like, what are you talking about? I said, I like to kid around. Long story short, I had 3 doctors tell me, you're in really bad shape. You're probably going to die. And I was like, come on, doc, rounds of shape. They didn't laugh. And whatever. So I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, ICU for 2 days. I got out. I'm scared. I go back to OA. And, I just, I don't know. And let me back up a little. I'm in AA a long time, and I went on a retreat like 20 years ago. And, well, I go a lot, but and I saw this fat guy, and I said, I'm done being fat. You want this sweatshirt? He goes, yeah, sure. I gave him a big AVC fleece. I don't see the guy for 10 years. I see him, and he's a normal-sized dude. I go, oh, hi, you new? He goes, no, I'm so-and-so. I said, yeah, sure you are. So he shows me his fat picture. I said, how'd you do that? Did you get surgery, cheetah? And he's like, no, I weigh and measure 3 meals a day, blah, blah, blah. No sugar, no carbs, no grains. I'm like, good for you. I go to OA. He's like, okay. And he planted that mustard seed of hope. How big is a mustard seed? It's like this big, What's hope stand for? Hold on, pain ends. And he planted that seed. And, he lived in Queens. I lived on the island. I never saw him again. And then I had that massive pulmonary embolism. And I went back to OA. And then, thank God I got the guy's number. And then, I lost 80 pounds, and then I painted an Italian restaurant. And I started eating, what they serve at Italian restaurants. And that's it. I was off to the races. And up to 80 pounds, I lost. I found another 100 plus. So here I am again, 400 pounds, and now after a pulmonary embolism, you got a lot of doctors. You got to go a lot of follow-ups. A lot of doctors were like, you got to lose weight. You're going to die. I was like, let's just get surgery. Do the surgery. Fine. So I Google what you could eat on a surgery. I was like, oh, F that. I'm not doing that. So I said, you know what? I'll just kill myself, because obviously every diet I've tried never worked. I was on Jenny Craig, I was on Nutrisystem, on Weight Watchers. I've been hypnotized. I've had I had people like, oh, let's join the gym. I had 3 gym memberships at one time. Come on, really? Like that 400-pound guy going to 3 different gyms. And I hear people share all the time, oh, I go to gym every day and I don't lose any weight. I'm like, what are you eating? If you're eating sugar, carbs, and grains, you're not going to be able to lose weight. Just like the phenomenon of craving. If I pick up a little alcohol, I want more. I pick up a little sugar, I want more. I pick up a little flour, I want more. You get the idea. My drug of choice is more. More of what everybody has. And after I had that PE, it's a miracle I didn't die when I got sober. It's a miracle I didn't die when I had PE. Miracle I didn't die from eating myself to death. 400 pounds, if nobody's experienced that, it's no joke. That's a big boy. I was wearing like 4X, 5X, but anyway, large and medium. Doesn't make sense. I remember I came out of the doctor's office, and I text my friend. I said, I'm going to commit suicide because I can't stop eating. And I don't know how or why, but that guy's number came into my head. And I said, let me call that guy up. So I did. He says, meet me in Mineola. I did. I walked into the meeting. I was that guy. I was that 400-pound guy. And I looked around. And I was like, wow, everybody's like normal sizes. Everybody's always fat. It's terrible. I used to be on the sponsor line at 360 pounds. Like, yeah, you want what I have? I wouldn't want what I have. But, whatever. So I went to that meeting. I looked for the chairs with no arms because I didn't fit in chairs with arms. I remember I went to a World Convention in AA in Toronto, I believe. And I stayed at the Four Seasons, which is not cheap. And I went down to the dining room, and they had all these little chairs. And I'm like, what the heck? So I went to my room. I got room service, and I wrote a letter to the Four Seasons. I said, obviously you don't care about fat people in the world, because that's exactly what I wrote. And they sent me 6 nights anywhere in the world for free. And I was like, wow, now that I'm a normal-sized dude, I should write him another letter and say, I used to be 400 pounds. I never used it because I don't travel, but whatever. I always make a joke of it. I like to kid around. I like to make jokes, but it's not a joke. It's death. Like my sponsor would say, death on the installment plan. Like eating sugar and carbs is like getting hit with cotton balls. It doesn't really bother you until there's so many on you can't breathe. So I did did an AWOL. That's why I share that I'm a recovered food addict. It took me like 19 years to have a spiritual awakening in AA. That's 10. I got 5 left. Thanks so much. It took me 19 years to have a spiritual awakening in AA. It only took me like 2 years to have a spiritual awakening in GreySheet. And what a spiritual awakening it was. I really get emotional. I never in a million years thought that I could do this and have, contented abstinence. I eat a lot. It's unbelievable how much we can eat, and my goal weight was another fruit for lunch and more protein. P.S. I've been at goal weight for over a year, and I'm pretty stoked about that. I do a lot of food prep. I do a lot of food prep on Facebook. I post a lot of stuff. I would share that I post more stuff to a 10-year-old girl, but whatever. It is what it is. And I make like 2 weeks worth of breakfasts, and I make like 8 lunches. Like, obviously, I only do breakfast twice a month, and lunches I do every week. But, and I got 3 barbecues in my backyard. I got a sick backyard. I got a waterfall, a koi pond, surround sound. It's unbelievable the life I live today. I'm so freaking blessed. I've been sober a long time, but I'm just so blessed to have what I have in GreySheet. I never thought this was attainable, and my Sunday night Deer Park Beginners meeting went back face to face. So I started a new meeting called The Way of Life. It's the same digits as the Deer Park meeting. And I always say, this is a way of life, WEIGH, everything I do, I weigh and measure, and I pride myself in everything that I do. Everything that you guys showed me, everybody that came before me, everybody that's on this journey with me, and all the people I didn't meet yet. I'll tell anybody, I got a massage yesterday, 2-hour massage. And the lady's like, she goes, you don't have stretch marks. I hate you. You people come in here that are fat and they got stretch marks all over them. And she goes, it's probably because you're Italian. I started laughing. I was like, yeah, whatever. Because, when you used to come here at 400 pounds, I was afraid, A, you're going to break my table. B, I barely fit on the table. C, it's amazing. It's amazing to be a normal sized dude. And anytime anybody reaches out for help, I want the hand of any fellowship I'm in to be there. And I always say also, never look down on a person unless you're helping them up, because as a kid, I get picked on a lot and it wasn't fun, but today I try to help anybody I possibly can, no matter what, no matter where, no matter how. I don't know. I probably got a minute or 2 left. I think that's all I got. So thank you. And from, where are you from? France? England? I don't know where you're from. France, there you are. And she called me this morning to remind me, and I was very happy about that. And thanks to Nancy in Paris, I have international calling on my phone. And I sponsor a lot of people from all over this globe, and it's pretty cool. So thank you for letting me be of service. If nobody told you they love you today, I love you, and keep coming back. This is the only thing that works.